All right, coming back on. Now I'm going to show, this should also be good review for all of my students. So I'm going to give a review on graphing a linear equation. So graphing a line, right? So the very first thing is I need to make sure that we recognize what is the equation of a line. So the goal is we always need to be able to analyze a line in this format, y equals mx plus b. So y equals mx plus b. What is the information here? The information here tells us a lot. So this guy right here, that's our slope. I hope you can see that. Yeah, okay. And this homie right here, that guy is our y-intercept. So this is our y-intercept. And a y-intercept will always be in the format of 0, comma b. Why? Because for the y-intercept, your x input will always be 0, okay? For my slope, though, it's important that we recognize that my slope is m is a fraction. So rise over run. It must always be a fraction. Not to worry, if our equation has just a solid number, we can always make that into a fraction by putting an over 1 into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with an example. And so my equation is going to be something that hasn't really been in mx plus b, so it gives us practice also to manipulate. So let's say we have 3x minus 2y equals 6. Does this equation here look like this one already? Let's come back and analyze this format right here. So right here, first and foremost, my y is isolated by itself. It doesn't have any coefficients other than the invisible one. And it's on its own on the left. And then I have then some type of x variable coefficient here with an m, that's my slope, right? Plus some type of constant, and this constant will end up being my y-intercept. So we're gonna make this equation look like this in a minute. And we're gonna do this by doing some good old inverse operations. So right now, I have a positive 3x here on the left of the equation. I need to make sure that I nullify this so that it can maybe appear on the right side. So 3x plus something must give me 0. So I'm going to add a negative 3x. Really, by doing addition property of equality, really what I'm doing is this is a positive 3x. It's the opposite of positive. It's negative. So I'm adding a negative 3x. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. That's the only way that this equivalency is going to be honored. So I've nullified the 3x. And now I'm going to write whatever my result is. So I have negative 2y is equal to now 6 and negative 3x are not like terms. This is 3x right here, negative 3x, and this is just a 6. They cannot be alike. This is like me saying an apple and an orange are 2 oranges. That's not true. So they're not able to combine. So I'm going to write it. They're going to be written separately. But notice again that my format needs the x written first. So I'm going to write the x first. So I now have negative 3x plus 6. Okay? So my format is almost getting there. But I need it to be just one solid y. I don't have that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce that coefficient in front of the y through division. So whatever I do to here, I'm going to divide that by negative 2 because negative 2 divided by negative 2 gives me 1. And that's what I need, 1y. Whatever I do here, I must do to every other term on the other side in order to maintain that equality. So bam. Cool. So now my equation is going to say y equals a negative 3 divided by negative 2 gives me a positive. So it gives me 3 over 2x. 6 divided by negative 2 gives me negative 3. Cool. Now I have my equation in the format I need, y equals mx plus b. So it's already there. Now I'm going to annotate this because I need to make sure that I recognize what I have. So just like I did here, I'm going to do something like this over here. So I know that my m is equal to 3 over 2. I always like to draw that. What does that mean? I rise and I run, right? This tells me the number on top is the number of values I rise. The number on the bottom is the number of values I run. So I always like to write it, and so this is me writing it. I go a rise of 3 and a run to the right. And I'm going to circle it because that's just my visual telling me what my slope is going to indicate. And then I'm going to also now identify my b. And remember my b, I identify it as 0, comma b. So I'm going to write it as 0, comma negative 3. So I've identified my slope and my y-intercept. Now it's time to get ready and start graphing. Good thing we got some good old graphing paper here. So now notice I try to draw my graphs nice and straight. They're always going to be labeled. Why is it that I label my graphs? My graphs are always labeled because if you don't label, then you are being prone to making mistakes on where the variable goes. I have many students that always start, oh, my y-intercept's here. No, y-intercept's always here. So you always make sure you label that. And I also like to always set up my scale. And notice that my scale is evenly distributed. The spacing is all uniform, and I indicate where my negative values are and where my positive values are. So here is my scale. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start. The rule is from B, you do M. That's all it says. So from B means you start at B. My B is at 0, negative 3. So 0, negative 3, right there. And then from there, I'm going to do what M tells me. M tells me to go 1, 2, 3 up and 2 to the right. Bam. And there's my next point. Now I'm going to do this multiple times. So I'm going to say 2 plus. Do it 2 times more. So I'm going to go up again, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 2 to the right. Bam. There's another point. And let's do one more. 1, 2, 3, 2 to the right. Bam. Now, I can also go backwards. I do opposite of this, so I can move I see my points on the back end of the line. So do opposite of this. So it's going to go down 3 and 2 to the left. Bam. So now I've created my line. And now, sorry guys, I'm going to ask my son to give me like the ruler. Give me the ruler from the box, puppy. Absolutely. Thank you. No, it's okay. Hurry, hurry. This is lifetime. My little lovely assistant is coming. Thank you, sir. Okay. So now I'm using my tools appropriately. So here is, and now there is my line. And this line is here. And that's how I graph a line. I hope you enjoyed. Up to the next video. I'm going to do a bunch of videos, and this is all going to be like for all of my students that require some of these lessons redos. You're welcome. See you in a little bit. Love you guys.